Hey guys, welcome back to Kerbal Space Program with Nitro, and look at where we are. We are finally at Laythe, and my superstation Nostromo is basically ready to go. The area that I was looking to land at is actually down here. Let's see, let's get our focus on Laythe real quick. And one hot second. It's still loud, but whatever. Ooh, okay. Whatever. Anyways, the area that I was looking at landing at is down here in this center of this little crater here at Laythe, because that looks to be like it has some good flat zone around there, and this is a nice large landmass, and I had enough fuel to get my inclination there, although the secondary option I was looking at is actually this patch of land up here and landing in this possible crater and then using this long strip of land as like an airstrip, but it looks a little bumpy, so that probably wouldn't have turned out too well. But I do need to scout this area first, and this is actually very important because if the land is not very flat, this thing is, when it lands, it's just going to tip over and explode, and I obviously don't want that. So, to start off, I need to deploy one of my drones, and this might actually cause a lot of problems when I do this because I have a claw unit attached to the bottom of the ship here. And the claw bug, I don't think has been fixed yet, even though it's been around since the asteroid redirect mission update. They still have not fixed it, I don't think. Let's just go ahead and undock my first drone. Alright, here we go. So now we're controlling my little drone here, and let's get SAS and RCS enabled. And let's see. Okay, wait, no. Wait. Hold. Not actually sure what's happening here. Please work. RCS system doesn't seem to be. Oh, that's right. Alright, so what happened is I actually disabled the RCS tanks during flight because I didn't want to use the RCS fuel from all of my tanks on my craft, which is something that you do have to remember to do. So, my bad. So actually I have to do this with all the craft that I deploy off of this ship now. All of the monopropellant tanks are going to be locked. And all the monopropellant tanks on the actual station right now are also locked because I used up all the monopropellant on my transfer stage pieces to help with maneuvering and doing my inclination changes. Okay, so now, there we go. Alright, so we just need to get this craft here positioned about halfway in between these support struts, which should be about there. Alright. This was actually kind of tricky to get these things in here, but it wasn't too bad, so... Now, let's see, we need... Yeah, we'll go that way. So use my J control here to maneuver out from our station, which will soon be the base. And when I come back up here to this, I need to remember to close off that docking port. Now, one thing I was thinking about doing is putting a docking port on this, but so I could use one of the deorbital engines down there, but I actually had to transfer some of the fuel up into fuel tanks and then drop them because I realized I wouldn't have any use for them, and this thing doesn't have a usable docking port, because the docking port that is on there I don't think is at the exact center of mass. So if I were to use one of these deorbital engines that you see here on the bottom of my craft on one of these things and attach it to the docking port on the underbelly here, I'm pretty sure it wouldn't fly too well, because I think center of mass is a bit higher up where these monopropellant tanks are. But again, I'm not entirely sure. So now that we have our little craft out, let's see, gotta make sure we're controlling from here. Okay, good. Rename vessel. Alright, so this is gonna be drone 1 and probe. Okay. That's just so I can find it later on, and actually I don't think I need to rotate that way. I just need to align myself this way. And this should get me to burn retrograde here. Gotta love that buttery smooth 2 frames per second. At least I think that's what it is. It's pretty bad, but it's actually gotten a lot better, even though it might not look like it. It's my frame rate has improved since I got rid of all the transfer stage stuff, but it's still going to be, you know, probably no more than 5 FPS, if that. Once I get these drones and everything detached from there. The main SRBs that I have on here for emergency thrusting are still full and ready to go. I thought about using them for deorbital purposes, but what I might wind up doing is actually between these next couple short parts here where I deploy my drones and my rovers, I might send out a deorbital engine and attach it to the docking port down here, because I'll be done with this whole bottom stage on my station. And I'll use a deorbital engine to actually deorbit this thing instead of using these solid rocket boosters. And then if the deorbital engine doesn't have enough fuel to get the job done, then I'll resort to the SRBs. But because you can't manage the throttle of these things, I mean, it's not ideal, of course, and you all know that, but it's a potential option. So, moving back to my drone here, I do have a nice little antenna, which does really nothing for us since we're not doing any science or anything, since this is sandbox mode. And because that is the station Nostromo, I actually went out of my way and put the Weyland-Yutani Building Better Worlds flag, as you can see here on the side of the ship, and it's also on the station parts as well. So whole thing is Weyland-Yutani. Alright, so we don't need our little antenna, actually. I just extend it because I like it. Bring this little guy back in. Alright, so check our little map here, and we need to scout that area, so we can actually start our deorbital burn relatively soon. Whoops. And maneuver. And deorbit. Which is actually probably going to take a lot of fuel, but I do plan on using the Rapier engine that I have on this thing to help with the deorbit burn and not actually use all of this RCS fuel. And we're probably going to need to overshoot that quite a bit, I would imagine. Not real sure, but we'll see. Alrighty. Go ahead and just use some of this monopropellant here. Since we're not going to need the monopropellant at all anymore for this thing, because it will not be redocking up with the space station, since this is a disposable drone, we can just use up all the monopropellant. And we're eating through it pretty good. So now Need to make sure we got the right engine. Get that whole engine ready to go. Make sure I get a dead stage here. Okay, good. Right there. Engine online. I like doing it that way instead of right-clicking and being, let's see, mode air breathing. So we need to toggle mode, close cycle. Come on, go off. All right, there we go. All right. So we do have 1 minute 14 seconds before we get there, but I'm actually going to go into physical time warp because I believe it will work doing this. And we can burn through our monopropellant in physical time warp pretty good. We have quite a bit of it, but we can actually burn through the monopropellant physical time warp and save a lot of the main fuel that we're going to need. I don't know if I'm going to have enough fuel to actually do this, but we'll see. The air engines should last long enough to get the job done. Check my fuel lines. Yeah, so if I use up all of this, I'm not going to have a lot of fuel left in these air engines. But the drone is disposable, so that's kind of the idea. We got 30 seconds to burn time, so I'm going to take it out of physical time warp now. Once we get out of range of the station, which we got about another 1.2 kilometers to go, get our frame rate back. Let's fire up the engine here. Ooh, it's working real good. We're gonna have plenty of fuel. Alright, we're unloading. Yep, there we go. Hey, our frame rate's back. Look at that. Alright. Let's power down now. So we did use up quite a bit of fuel, but we'll be okay, as we can see here. So, overall, I think that burn went pretty good. I'm going to continue to use monopropellant for just a bit, since I can. Check the fuel level here. About a 180, so 90 would be half, and alright, so we almost used half the fuel. That's not too bad. We still have quite a bit of monopropellant though, so I'm going to continue to use that and go into 4 times physical time warp. Continue to eat through the monopropellant here. Because the atmosphere on Laythe won't start until somewhere around here, since the periapsis right now I think is somewhere around 60,000 meters, and the actual atmosphere of Laythe doesn't begin until around 55,000 meters, which should be about here, so I think we have to bring it down quite a bit. I'm going to stop there. Go into regular time warp, and I think we'll be okay. Yeah, we're getting close now. Alright, so hit backspace to unlock everything, go back to this target. Oops. Alright, let's see. We're at 100,000 meters and falling fast. We actually need to do a little bit of an inclination change. 300 meters per second is not going to happen. But I can just burn my RCS in that direction anyways. Because we want to fly around this location. And we'll know it when we see it, because we can start to really appreciate it now. So we have about 40 units of RCS gas left. We're not even in the atmosphere yet. Alright, so target location, we're actually pointed towards it with it, which is fantastic. So let's actually shut down engine. And now I'm going to activate regular. So bring the main engines online. Oh, here we go, here we go. Oh boy. Alright, this is not good. Oh, we got power. Come on, baby. Fight it. Fight it. Oh my god. Alright, so we still have RCS for maneuvering. Oh, come on, come on, come on. Oh, this thing ain't working. Oh, jeez. Alright, we're still slowing down. Wait, wait, wait. Alright, here we go. Here we go. Alright, I got control. To some degree. Oh, man. That was a rough re-entry. Alright, so let's continue to use RCS gas. We're really low on RCS fuel right now. Turn cap lock on for fine-tune controls for flying. And bring it around here. Oh, no. Damn it. Alright, we're getting way too much lift on the front of the craft, it seems. Gotta be really, really careful. It doesn't fly too terribly well, but it flies okay. Alright, so let's bring it around. Easy does it now. Easy does it. Alright, so check the map. And we're headed the right way. Oh, pitching up too much, pitching up too much. We gotta like kind of try to keep it inside the jet stream there on our program marker. Because if I don't, we're screwed. Alright, so I'm flying around the actual potential LZ is basically right here. So let's see if I can take her down. Oh my god, losing control. Power down the engines. Ah, crap. Ugh, pull up. Give me power, come on, baby. This actually looks like pretty good terrain, actually, for what I was looking for. This actually doesn't look that bad. It's really nice. Alright, so I'm gonna cut power right here. I think RCS is empty. Yeah, it is. Alright. So cutting power and gonna jettison. So there goes our disposable drone. Whee! Alright, there we go. There we go, we jettison that, and this is my little pod. So we're gonna bring it down, hopefully. Hopefully. What the heck is going on? Why are we drifting backwards? Is it because of my wings that I'm getting like really good lift or something, so this thing's actually able to fly? That's pretty crazy. I'm not really much of a spaceplane expert. This is actually nice terrain around here. Might be able to get something done. Alright, there we go. Parachute deployed. It looks reasonably flat. So let's see, check the map here. I want to try to head up a bit that way, I think. So that would be straight normal, I believe. So let's rotate here so I know which way is which. Really? Is it that way? Doesn't look that way. And it's definitely that way. Alright. Had to be sure. Doesn't look that bad. So that's the drone. It's really sensitive, and I think it's because I have way too much lift out of the new spaceplane parts. But that's okay. It's not meant to be a permanent aircraft. Yay! And we have touchdown. Let's get our Kerbal out here. Boop. Alright. Get him a little runaround so we can go into physical time warp with the Kerbal, luckily, and actually get a lay of the land. So this is on a slope, so this would not be ideal, as you can clearly see. I think somewhere up above this ridge would probably be the best location. That little Kerbal go. Zoom out to maximum. Yeah, somewhere like right there in that little dip down patch might be good. And over here might be good. Go back to my little Kerbal. Alright, we're not going to run all that way. So that was pretty far, so that's cool. So we landed reasonably close to our LZ, and I did want to take a look right up to the north of him. Of course, over here in this location might also be pretty good. Not sure yet. So, let's switch to the Nostromo again. Now, this might break everything because of the bug. And the issue was that whenever you had anything that was, I believe, an unmanned craft with a claw on it, and you switch back and forth between the vessels, it will it will cause a bug, and it will cause this whole thing to just spontaneously explode, which would not be good. Hold together and don't explode, please. Right, so it hasn't exploded yet. And usually it was triggered whenever you hit time warp as well. And it's being really laggy. Alright, it's still loading. Okay. So we're on the dark side of the planet now, so I'll bring on my lights. And I do have blue lights on the top there, which is pretty cool. And I did that because we were going to Laythe, so Laythe at nighttime will have blue lights on the ground once we find a suitable landing location. So the monopropellant for these things do get all used up, but that's fine. We don't need monopropellant on those. Alright. And now we can jettison. Actually, I need to turn the lights off. So some of the blue lights are actually on the rovers as well, which I think is kind of nice. I could try and send down the second plane, which I think I might do. I don't know. Decisions. Alright, so this may break the game if I do this, but I'm gonna try anyways. Alright, so let's just quickly go here. Go Alt F12, open our debug thing here and make sure it doesn't break when I hit time warp, because it might. Okay, it's not breaking. It doesn't look like. If it were breaking, you would see a bunch of errors and things that would pop up here and be all red, which is not what you want to see. Red ring of death, basically, for KSP. All right. So that deorbit burn actually worked really well, and I think the next deorbit burn that I'll have to do would be either next to apoapsis or after the apoapsis here. Once we bring our ship around. Still can't time warp very much. Come on, damn it. There we go. Oh, come on. 240,000. I don't even know if I go up to. Oh, yep, there we go. Alright, so speed it up to about there. Okay. Alright, so it didn't break. That's good. So turn off our debug toolbar. We don't need that anymore. And now I can deploy the second drone. So let's deploy this one. Undock it. And the cool thing is about getting this thing over to Laythe, I actually had pretty much exactly enough fuel to get the job done. And inside of our main fuel tank here, you can see I was using some of this fuel, but I still got plenty of fuel to do any sort of extra deorbital tasks or anything I need to do with the remainder of the fuel on board. And I did use Laythe and Joule aerobraking maneuvers to save on fuel once I got here, because it's very useful for slowing down once you get here. And the altitude I used for the Joule aero capture is 125,000 meters above the surface, in between about 125,000 and 127,000. I found to be a pretty good safe zone to use as an aero capture around Joule, at least for this craft. I'm not sure if it'll work for lighter, smaller craft, but it worked for this giant behemoth. And I brought all the solar panels in too when I was doing my aero capture, because we were hitting some pretty heavy air resistance there. Alright, so I think I got them all online. So RCSSS, and whoop, wrong way. Bring it out. And stop. And let's go the other way. Let's go to the right. Bring it out nice and quick. And this is exactly how I had to dock these things too. I launched them up and then I used their RCS systems to dock them in there. And before I set the whole thing out, I refueled everything. So it's quite nice. I was able to dock pretty easily with everything. Alright, so let's spin this guy around. Ta-da! Alright, there we go. And oops, stop spinning. Point retrograde. And initiate burn of RCS fuel first. I could save on the RCS fuel and actually use it for flight maneuvering, but I don't know. I don't think it's going to work that well, because where I really need RCS jets on this thing to make it more stable, I believe, would be on the front of the pod, on top and bottom, and left and right, just to make the whole thing fly a lot better. I'll design some better drones in the future. I mean, this is just a quick little disposable drone. It pretty much got the job done, but it could be a lot better. I'm sure you guys have made some much better drones than this. Come on, give me my engine. There we go. But I still like it. Alright. Fire this engine up. Alright, engine online. And let's make sure we got everything. Control from here. And rename it. So this is going to be another probe. And this is drone 2. Alrighty. So now I think I can actually start this deorbital burn right here at Apoapsis. Bring it down on the target location. And Laythe is going to rotate quite a bit. before I actually get to the LZ over there, so gonna have to overshoot it to some degree. And we'll start out with that. That should be good. It's about the same delta V too, I think, for both of these burns. So let's go ahead and do the burn at about 30 seconds, I think would be good. So I'll use RCS fuel up to that point, hit physical time warp ×4, make sure my ship doesn't explode. And it looks like it's holding together alright. If something was wrong, this thing would start rocketing off into space and blow up, or just blow up on the spot. Because that's what happened last time, back when the bug was active. Again, I don't know if they fixed it, but I'm just going to assume that they haven't yet, and play it safe. Because they've been busy working on this update, actually. Which I haven't actually had a whole lot of time to play the new career mode. But I might do that later. Alright, so I think it automatically switched for me, so I didn't need to switch between air breathing mode and closed cycle mode for the Rapier engine. Now the Aero Spike engine would probably be a lot better, but the thing that I was having an issue with was actually getting this thing up into space, so I had a decouple node attached to this sucker when I launched it up on the lifter to get it up into orbit and over to the space station. So that's why you don't see like a Aero Spike engine or some other type of engine right there, because I think the Rapier engine's actually fine for this job. And I really had a big problem trying to design a drone for this purpose, because I had to keep it within certain size limitations, because I had to fit it in between those support struts on the station. As you guys saw, it had to fit in a very tight location, so I could only make this thing so large, like so wide and so long, before it started to become a problem. And I don't have cap lock on right now, because this thing is rather touchy. Alright, that should be good. And I'll stop using RCS gas and actually turn that off for now. Let's check it. Yes, we got a good amount of monopropellant. Alright, so there we go. And I'm going to point it now towards prograde. Since if I need to do any sort of corrective burn, it's going to be towards the prograde. I'm not going to have to slow down, I don't think. Actually, I stand corrected. I do need to slow down quite a bit, but I don't think I'm going to be able to. Unless I do that. Which means doing a burn here. I can only do so much of that, so I can't actually complete that burn. The rest of this will be done in the atmosphere. So now let's go ahead and shut down engine and point ourselves in the prograde direction, and I'm gonna have to spin it around once we enter the atmosphere. So let's activate air breathing engines. It is getting a little dark. I don't think we have any lights on this thing. No, I didn't put any lights on. I was gonna put some lights on these front little wing sections here, just to see, or maybe a light or two on the bottom, but I guess I forgot that. I did put lights on the rovers though, so I'll be able to see when I'm driving around the LZ. And actually, I need to set the drone 1 as target. Alright, so there I have a target marker, and that'll tell me where drone 1 is, and there it is right there on the screen. So there's my point of reference. So I know where to fly. And I'm gonna come in straight in here. And I'll try to pull up a little bit, so hopefully we can glide on the atmosphere a bit here and then get ourselves turned around as we start to get air intake. Yeah, here we go. So getting good air intake now. Try to pull up a little bit. Turn on RCS. Get some engine power going. Crap. And lost total control. Alright, full power to engines. Need to stop. Oh boy. This thing's very unstable. Come on. Come on. Alright. It's unstable when I'm going at such high velocity, but once you actually get it down into the atmosphere, it seems to do okay, but I'm still getting a lot of lift problems in the front. Oh, dear God. Come on. Pull up, pull up, pull up. You got to be very careful and really try to keep the prograde marker relatively close to the ship, otherwise it does have a lot of problems because it's pretty sensitive. But it seemed to be doing okay now. I think I got control back. Let's get my power back up. Definitely want to get over the mountains and not crash into them. Alright, so aiming towards target location now, and I wanted to check out this area over here to the north of it. Alright, there we go, there we go. Alright, so it's actually flying pretty good now. I'll lower the power just a bit. And turn on my cap lock. Fine-tune controls. Oh, alright, there we go. Actually, that's probably not so good because I do need to give it the quick touches there to the top to try and keep the nose down. Otherwise, it does like to go up a little bit. And we are dropping in altitude, but that's okay. So there you go, guys. The drone is actually successfully flying, and that's a pretty good screenshot. So, in a second. There we go. Before everything goes awry. Alright, so there's where they landed, and I want to check out the area just to the north of them. So I'm going to land the drone over here. And cut power. Point retro. And deploy. I know it seems like kind of weird. It's like you could reuse the drone, but I mean, it's just a quick little disposable drone. I know it's still got fuel and everything in it, but this is kind of fun to just sort of fly a plane around an LZ and then drop a Kerbal in. I'm sure, you know, you could refine them and whatnot, or the drones, so you could land perfectly vertically on the ground, but this is kind of fun to just sort of drop it random here. I'm not really going to be able to see too well when we get down here, so I'm actually going to wrap up the part once we can survey the ground here, and I'm going to launch the rovers in the next video. So the next time we'll bring the rovers down here to the LZ and hopefully be able to drop those right on top of our Kerbals, and then we can have them drive around this crater here and find the best location for a base. Alright, here we go, here we go, here we go. And deploy! There we go. Still says 50 meters per second for some reason. I'm not entirely sure why. It's, oh wait, I didn't unset target, did I? Oh, crap. Go back. Okay. I don't think it unset target that way. Can I do it here? I can't. Yeah, screw it. This says target. Drone 1. Yeah, it's not working. There, unset target. I don't know what the hotkey is actually for no target. That's a pretty good view though. We got a nice view of Vol, I believe that is over there. And nice sunset on Laythe. This terrain looks pretty good. Let's time warp a little bit until we touch down. And come on. Ooh. Ooh. This is actually a nice spot right here. Let's go ahead and jump out. Plop. And take a little look. Come on, give me control. Turn the, uh-oh. Oh, yeah. L. Alright, turn the lights on here. Our little Kerbal. Does he have power supply? I don't think he does, right? No, he doesn't. He only has one propellant. Okay. So, yeah, there we go. This is actually really, really flat by the look of it, just at a glance. And see where we are in comparison. So we're just a little bit there to the northwest, only about 7.6 kilometers away. And this whole patch of land that I landed on here looks really good. And we're in the crater, as you guys can see. Yeah, this whole area right here within like a fair-sized square is really flat by the look of it. So this, I think, is going to be the place where I'm going to have my base. Is going to be right here. So that'll be next time. I'm going to leave my Kerbal inside his pod, though. I think he can get back inside his pod. Try. Yeah, we can. Okay, F-board. Awesome. So we'll turn our systems off here just to make sure that we're not wasting power. And let's switch to drone 1. And I should be able to swap out to my Kerbal 2. And turn SAS systems off for that. And where are you? There you are. Yeah, so this is on an incline here, as you guys can see. So this is not what you want to land on. But where I landed over there with the drone 2 looks like it's going to be really good. But again, I'm going to survey the area some more next time with some rovers. I'm going to get this Kerbal over to drone 2 and help survey the area. And then the way that I'm going to set it up is the drones will actually wind up being deleted once I get my Kerbals on rovers, and I'm going to put one Kerbal at the far end of the flat zone and another Kerbal at the other far end of the flat zone, so I have a range to land in, so that way I know if I'm overshooting or not when I bring in the big ship. And down here in the dip, it doesn't look that bad either, so I'm just going to have to scout the whole area, I think, at some point. But I'm only going to do a little bit of scouting in the next video with the rovers, just to save on time. And then I'll do the rest of my recon off cam. So, yep, we can board him on in there. So he's safe in his pod for the night, in his cryopod, or however you guys want to look at that. And so there you go. We have 2 drones successfully landed on Laythe. Next time, I'm going to be deploying the rovers. And I'll switch back to the Nostromo real quick. And the rovers are all ready to go. We just need to attach them to the deorbital engines, which will have the same amount of fuel as what I had with the drones there. We're just going to use a bit more powerful engine for them, but the drones are lighter, so we'll have plenty of fuel to get those things down onto the ground. And we should be in pretty good shape. Alright, so let's get this thing closed. Come on now. Alright, it's still loading. Is it moving? It's moving. Off. Okay. Let's check the lights real quick. There we go. So those are blue lights. At least I think the top lights and the rover lights are both the same sort of fluorescent blue color. I kind of wanted to go for something like a black light kind of feel, but looks pretty cool. At least I think. So next time, and probably tomorrow is my guess. We'll be landing both rovers on Laythe and take them around for a short little scouting mission and find out where truly the best spot is to land this massive station on the surface of Laythe, and then I will be landing this massive station on the surface of Laythe. And I'll bring a deorbital engine out here in another video, or not in another video, but off cam, and have it ready to go for the next video when I'm ready to actually deorbit it. So I think I'm going to have 2 more videos along with this station here, and that's going to be me deploying the rovers and the epic landing. And because of Laythe's low gravity, I think I might actually be able to fly this thing if I needed to. Now, there's not really enough fuel in the engines to actually island hop, I don't think, but it can fly. I've flown the station on Kerbin, and I might upload a video later of me actually flying this thing around with jet propulsion. But, yeah, I don't know. One thing I will need to do, though, is I will need to make a boat for Laythe, so we can get a boat down there on the surface and take it around and go island hopping and just explore the area, because it is a pretty cool planet. It's my favorite moon of the Jewel system anyways, just because it has an atmosphere and I can actually use these jet engines off of Kerbin. So, that's it for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed. Check out the next videos, which will be up later this week. Again, hopefully tomorrow I'll have the rover deployment and scouting up there, and I will do that in the daytime. So I'm going to deploy these things probably once this island is over here and we have the sun on top of us, so it's like high noon. And so that way it'll have us a little bit of daytime before it rotates over here to where it's basically nighttime on Laythe for you guys. So again, hope you guys enjoyed. Thanks for watching, and check out the next videos when I get them uploaded. Till next time, guys, take care.